last night, ordinary people were out in force taking ULEZ cameras down. So this is the first set out of, I think, around 13 that are out. As you can see, traffic's flowing. There's no build-up of traffic and everyone seems to be quite courteous on the road. It's this whole stretch of road that runs along the back of Orpington, and it's caused quite a bit of a stir. Now, yes, there was an accident this morning, and it is -7, or it was -7, and there is black ice, and there's been a few accidents around the area anyway that haven't involved traffic lights or junctions where the cameras or the lights have been taken out. So this is the next set, and again, somebody crossing the road, obviously using common sense and using the green cross code to cross, people being courteous, and as I said, using common sense. So there is two sides to this, and it is quite controversial. So obviously these people that are cutting the cameras down, first of all, they're cutting the poles because the actual cameras are armoured, so you can't actually get to the wires, which was obviously what was happening initially. They were cutting the wires on the cameras, so not having to touch the poles. Next set coming up here now, obviously, again, this is a very busy junction. Normally you'll be queuing here for ages in every direction, and as you can see, traffic's flowing nicely. Everyone's being kind and courteous. So anyway, the point is, initially you could cut the wires, and then they decided to armour them. So the only way is obviously to cut the pole. And again, I know I just said it's very controversial, which it is, because ultimately the people that are doing this are ordinary everyday people that have probably never done anything like this before in their lives, but are at the end of their tether, where we're all being squeezed by a very fraudulent tax essentially, and also being controlled. And because there's a lot of people that can't afford to pay £12.50 per day, 7 days a week, every day of the month, every day of the year, just to travel. Obviously this is the next set again. All the traffic lights are out, people being considerate, using the highway code basically, which is what you're taught when you take your test. The green cross code you're taught as a child. So yes, we are obviously being squeezed by fraudulent tax, and most people, as I've said multiple times before, know that this isn't the end. This is obviously going to get worse. There is going to be pay per mile, the road user charging. So everywhere you go, you will be charged to drive, not just in a London borough or the ULEZ zone. It will expand out to every city and then obviously beyond. And most people won't be able to afford to do this. The sun's very bright. And probably won't be able to afford to even drive around. I obviously have made the point that there's a lot of areas that don't have very good public transport, and that's just to accentuate the fact that what is going to happen to these people that live in these areas who don't have the public transport. Moving on to obviously the controversy about how dangerous it is that these cameras are being cut. What we have found in most areas so far where this has happened, where the traffic lights have been taken out, initially people are in uproar saying how dangerous it is, and then actually finding that, oh, you can look, there's hardly any traffic. Again, just coming up to this junction again, it's normally very busy here. You normally have queues in every direction. There aren't any, and that's what we're finding is happening. I think these traffic lights going up everywhere, signs, road markings, it's all just a form of dictation to basically tell us what to do, when to do it and how to do it. It also is very good at visually trying to create the appearance that there is a lot of traffic on the road, a lot of congestion, a lot of pollution, because all these vehicles are backing up, sitting at traffic lights that aren't controlled very well. You take them away and actually visually it looks very different. You know, I said about London, close all the back roads, force everyone onto the main roads, put down to a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, you've got cars and vehicles everywhere. It's making journeys extremely stressful, but it's also convincing people that there is an issue with too many vehicles on the road. It's all psychological. So it is very controversial, but I also believe that we are losing the ability to have common sense. We're losing the ability to actually think for ourselves and do what we were taught growing up as children, you know, to have that common sense. You know, all it takes is a little bit of awareness, a bit of courtesy, a bit of respect on the road, to pedestrians trying to cross, to other drivers on the road. We don't need to be told what to do. We're not stupid, we're not babies, but essentially, as time goes by, we are being told what to do and how to do it in every aspect of our lives, that we're losing the ability to actually think for ourselves without somebody having to tell us how to do it. I think all of these things need to be considered, and look at the big picture, look at everything. There's not really much else to say about this other than the fact that I've just driven down, well, I personally haven't driven, I'm in the passenger seat, but we've just driven down what is normally a very busy section of road, to find that actually, you know, just a little bit of awareness and, like I said, that courtesy, and actually driving your vehicle how you were taught when you took your driving test, shows that traffic flows a lot better. And do we actually really in all these areas need all of these traffic lights, all of these controls and all of these cameras to help us basically navigate our way through a day in our lives?